It was to make sure that the terms of the ceasefire were being observed that British armoured personnel carriers climbed the mountains above Vitez. The Muslim commander had promised to pull his fighters off freshly captured positions, but it was soon clear that the withdrawal had not taken place. There were hundreds of Muslim soldiers on the mountains which dominate the valley and its vital supply route. The British colonel asked why the promise had been broken. He was told it was because Muslim children had been massacred in a nearby village.
Which village? Which village? Ahmici.
Yes.
Okay. So you say there are many babies killed in the village of Ahmici?
No prastam.
Will not forgive them this.
The patrol moved on to investigate the allegations. Ahmici is one of dozens of villages that have been destroyed in this area. The Muslim population has been driven out by Croatian soldiers who destroyed the mosque and set fire to every Muslim home. Many have been razed to the ground. There was no sign of life, but death was everywhere. Livestock, even pets, had been slaughtered. The bodies of the human inhabitants had supposedly been taken away, but the soldiers from the Cheshire Regiment had been asked to make a detailed search. They found a horror story. Just inside the entrance of this house, the charred bodies of a man and a young male. But there was worse to come. Down in a cellar, what first appeared to be a pile of charred wood and rags. But these are human remains. The bodies of an adult and 4 children who appear to have been burnt alive. It was difficult to work out just how many people had died here. Their bodies had virtually been cremated.
Perhaps the most horrifying thing about this latest slaughter is that this is typical of the atrocities that have been committed over the last few days. Whole families herded into cellars, either shot or burnt to death with no possible hope of escape.
In the stairs.
The head of the European Community monitoring team in the area was taken to the house.
And about 5 children in the cellar. All the bodies have been burned. I'll show you.
Absolutely a shame.
I just had the HVO telling me no cameras. I told them to get stuffed. On the stairs, Ambassador, a father and probably a boy. That's a child.
Those children were still alive when they've been burned. How can you imagine this? I didn't thought that there were still criminals like this. When you see that, you are no more a diplomat. You are just a human being, saying it's not acceptable. Who is responsible? We have to find it.
The diplomat and the professional soldier were clearly moved by what they'd seen.
I'm absolutely horrified. It looks like the father and the son try to defend the mother and the daughters, the mother and the daughters being in the cellars. The father and the son possibly shot and then burnt upstairs. And then someone has deliberately set fire to the cellar, and all the mother and possibly the daughters and the young children have all died, 5 or 6 in the cellar. It is quite horrifying.
This Muslim village was ethnically cleansed by Croats 3 days ago. Minutes after leaving the burnt house, Colonel Stewart came across soldiers from the Croat Defence Force, the HVO.
This is a disgusting...
There are whole families up there.
Do you have the permission of HVO?
I don't need the permission of the bloody HVO.
Meni ne treba dozvola.
I am from the United Nations.
Ja sam iz Ujedinjenih nacija.
And as far as I'm concerned, what has happened here is disgraceful.
I ono koliko se mene tiče,
Bad luck,
što
my
se ovdje
friend.
desilo je užasno.
You know, there are whole families up here that have been massacred. I'd like to know who's done it.
Porodice su gore koje su masakrirane i volio bi da znam ko je to uradio.
Who has done it? Who is responsible?
Ko je odgovoran za ovo?
It's not you, obviously, is it?
No one admits to atrocities here, but each side claims the other commits them. Ahmici is just another reason for 2 communities to continue hating and continue killing.